All right, hi guys. I've made another update to my winter outlook for the 2021-2022 winter season. And before we get into that, I just want to remind you that if you haven't joined my pro site, that I would encourage you to do that. On there, you're going to find a lot of extra discussions about the weather of the Ohio Valley. You can get on my pro site at www.patreon.com/Ohio Valley Weather. So those of you that have been watching my other videos know that this is the pattern I am expecting us to see this winter. And so far, we do have a strong high pressure over the Pacific Ocean due to a La Nina. We have been seeing a positive PNA in the Western United States. And also, we do have a negative NAO right now over the North Atlantic Ocean. So basically, everything is in place for us to see this pattern start happening. Now, with regard to the La Nina, you can see that way back since September, the ocean water temperature was dropping. But then in the last few days, we have seen the water warm a little bit. And so this is signaling a slight weakening of the La Nina. If it had stayed down here around -1 degree Celsius below the normal temperature, that would have got us into the moderate range. But since it has backed off a little bit, it looks like, at least for now, that the La Nina is going to remain weak. Now, having said that, I do not expect this to really change my outlook any at this point, because all of the other places still seem to be where they need to be. Speaking of that, this is the PNA, or the Pacific North American Teleconnection. And you can see that since mid-October, the PNA went very positive, and it's been staying positive. And now we're starting to see it trend just a little bit toward negative. And we're expecting it probably to just about reach neutral around the middle of the month. Beyond that, you can see the prediction has it all over the place. So right now, beyond the middle of the month, it's really not clear what we're going to see happen with the PNA. But at least for now, it is positive, and that is part of the pattern that I am expecting. With the NAO, similarly, the NAO has been very negative since October and most of October, and now into the first part of November. The NAO is still negative. We are expecting to see it trend toward positive, but then towards the middle of the month, it's likely that we'll see it go negative again. And so based on that, here's the pattern of the polar winds for today. And I'm going to switch this out right now to another screen. Here we go. And like I said, this is the 500 millibar winds for today, which shows the polar jet stream. And right now, the jet stream is kind of weak. We have a little bit of a ridge over the western United States and a little bit of a trough over the east, which is why our temperatures have been cooler than normal. But this whole system is moving off to our east. If I advance this, you can see that moving off to the east. And it looks like for a few days, we're going to have a pretty zonal flow for the for the jet stream, just kind of a west to east flow, maybe for a few days. But you can see by about Wednesday of this week, the jet stream is kind of getting all over the place. And usually when you see something like this, you know that a pattern change is coming. And as we push closer towards the weekend, here you can start to see a trough developing in the east. Notice the ridge developing out west. And as this pushes eastward, by Friday and certainly by Saturday, you can see there's that pattern I expected. The ridge in the west and the trough in the east. This is going to put the Ohio Valley right back into cold air again by late Friday, the 12th, and certainly by Saturday, the 13th, that this is going to bring colder than normal air into the Ohio Valley. Now, look what happens though if I push this out a few more days. You would think that that trough would just move off to the east and then things would warm back up. But look what it's showing. It looks like another trough right behind that one is going to put the Ohio Valley into even colder air by Monday, the 15th. And that will probably remain in place for a few days. So once we get past these few warm days that we're having right now, it looks like by the middle of this month, we're going to be right back into a more winter-like pattern. Here again, this now is for Tuesday the 16th, and you can see the ridge over the western United States, just like I've been predicting, along with a trough over the east, which would put the Ohio Valley in colder than normal air. Now, anytime you have a trough like this, it's possible that you could start to see storms develop here, and some of the models are starting to suggest that. Before we look at that, though, I thought I'd show you the temperature anomaly. And right now, of course, we're starting to see the warmer temperatures move into the Ohio Valley. And you can see this red is going to make its way eastward over the next few days. This is by tomorrow, Monday. We're definitely going to be in warmer than normal air. And you can see the PNA out here going slightly negative with the cooler temperatures out west. But we can see right there by Tuesday, things are starting to warm up back out west again. And remember, normally in the United States, if the west is warm, then the east is cold. If the west is cold, then the east is warm. And so we're kind of seeing that pattern here. This is by Wednesday. Things are warming back up in the west, which is setting us up for colder temperatures to move eastward. And you can see by next Wednesday, we're starting to see colder temperatures appear up here in the Pacific Northwest. And we've got warmer temperatures in the Southwest with that positive PNA. And so that's going to start to push those colder temperatures into the east. And here you can see that happening by Thursday the 11th, Friday the 12th. Here they come. And then by Saturday the 13th, you can see those colder than normal temperatures moving into the Ohio Valley, just like we predicted with the polar jet stream that we were looking at a few minutes ago. But look at what we have up here over central Canada, even colder air in place. And that's going to be that second trough that we saw a few minutes ago, that second trough of the polar jet stream. By Sunday the 14th, you can see that colder air moving down. And then by Monday, the 15th, you can see that moving into the Ohio Valley. And that puts the Ohio Valley there at 10 to 15 degrees below normal by the 15th of this month. That would make it pretty cold. We would be looking at highs around 40 degrees and lows are around 20 degrees, which is pretty cold for this time of year. Certainly cold enough to support snow. And speaking of that, let's look at what the GFS model is predicting as far as precipitation. So if we push this out, here's tomorrow, Monday, there's Tuesday. You can see these storms coming in out in the west. Those are going to make their way over this way and gradually toward the Ohio Valley. And here you can see them bringing up some thunderstorms even possibly by Thursday of this week. But notice right behind those storms, we have the 540 line, which is where snow could fall. And so we could actually see a transition of the rain possibly changing over to snow later this week. And then as that storm wraps around, we start to see some possible lake effect snow coming off of Lake Erie there. And notice here we have another weak low pressure system coming down from Canada. And notice what that does by Sunday of next week into Monday. This pushes a little bit of snow across the Ohio Valley. Certainly it's going to be cold enough. So that low could strengthen, possibly give us even more snow, or it may not happen at all. At this point, it's hard to say. So anyway, that's what I'm thinking for at least about the next 10 days or so. We're going to have a warm up that will be short lived. But then after that, we're going to see another blast of Arctic air coming into the Ohio Valley. So once again, I hope you liked the video. If you haven't joined my pro site yet, I encourage you to do that. On there, you're going to see more discussions about what I talked about in this video. If it looks like that snow may happen, I will make more posts here on my pro site and let you know how much we might get. Again, that's at www.patreon.com/Ohio Valley Weather. I hope you enjoyed the video, and thanks for watching.